Welcome everyone, this is Hypnoser, and in this presentation we will be taking a look at the grey side of the Force in the Star Wars universe. And it's not just a presentation about grey Jedi, it's something slightly different, although they will be mentioned here as well. It's about the third side of the Force, the side between the Jedi and the Sith. Okay, let's get to our contents, which we will mention today. We will try to come up with some basic definitions of the grey side, the key characteristics. Then we will also mention the grey Jedi. We will show the comparison between the three sides of the Force. We will show the codes and its slightly refined version. Okay. We will also mention the story of a guy who was Force sensitive after Order 66. We will wonder about the concept of midi-chlorian rebellion against a Force user. Okay, we will also talk about the concept of bringing balance to the Force. And we will try to depict the grey side of the Force and wonder about which depiction is better. Okay, so let's start with the basic definition of the grey side of the Force. First definition is individual who doesn't fully align to either side of the Force and seeks balance between Jedi and the Sith. Although balance might kinda indicate that we are on the Jedi side, but doesn't have to again. The third side of the Force, which is in that transitional state between the dark side and the light side, that's sort of what we try to think about. Okay, and now let's discuss the key characteristic of the grey side. As we said, we want balance here, but we don't want extreme ideology. Okay, what we also want is the flexibility. That term might be interpreted as the dark side, actually, because you know, if morality is flexible, is it even a morality from that point of view? And then we have the honesty. Yes, we try to be honest, and that includes not suppressing the emotions, but on the other hand we don't want them to dominate. So the fourth one is the independence from the orders, and that's pretty important. Now, because neither of the sides truly grants independence, such a grey side user is very often switching the sides of the Force, just like center politicians in two-party system often switch between left and right. Yes. So that would be the key characteristics. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, what does it mean to be a grey Jedi? Now, many argued that this term made little sense because, well, if you're a Jedi, you already say you are on the light side of the Force, and therefore you're not exactly grey. Now, usually it was used in a moment when the Jedi user was in the intermediate state for some moment, even if he didn't join the dark side. So this term can have multiple meaning, but overall it's just a type of a Jedi, and it's not exactly a grey side of the Force. Okay, now let's try to compare now those three sides of the storm. The Jedi is the guy that tries to suppress the storm, the Sith try to become the storm, and the Grey listens to the tides. Oh, and that's a pretty important thing. Now, if we're saying that we're just listening to the tides, does that mean that Grey side should have a lightsaber to begin with, if it's just listening and not fighting? That is an interesting question. Okay, now let's compare the codes of all three sides of the Force. Okay. Okay, no, Sith code values: passion, strength, power, victory, and those kind of values. But the Jedi codes, at least on paper, values peace, knowledge, serenity, and harmony. So what does the grey side value then? It tries to keep the balance. Ironically, Jedi also wanted like balance in the Force. No, with varying results, but we know they kinda aimed for it. Okay. So the grey side tries to connect those two things together. So they want passion, but relatively peaceful. They want emotion, but relatively serene. They want, and here is the hardest part, chaos and order at the same time. Now, is that even possible? Now, what essentially happens is that they are stuck between chaos and order, and they don't know exactly what they want. Or they do know what they want, but that depends on the situation. So this last sentence is kind of a difficult one. Okay. Now, here's a slightly different interpretation of the grey code. I also want to mention here. We're not exactly light because it blinds. We're not exactly darkness because it consumes. We are the third side. we try to watch the balance, and we want the force that is not chained by doctrines. Now that working against the doctrines might kinda be like the dark side, but again, only to a limited degree. Oh, and that's an important part. We become the bridge. Okay. So they are the third guy that tries to connect the two sides with each other. Okay, and why do we talk about the grey side? Now, let's imagine a force sensitive who was born like long after Order 66, and he tries to find a master, but he's not sure which side to join. If he joins the Jedi, he will be subject to Order 66. Even if he ends like Ahsoka Tano, he will be subject to Order 66. Now, he might try to join the Sith, but again, they have rule of the two, and Inquisitors have limited space in the ranks. So, that guy will struggle quite a lot to find the master. And we wonder what to do to master the Force in the time when there is a master crisis. Okay, now the most interesting part, something that isn't part of the canon yet, but what happens if the midichlorian develops some sort of hive mind and starts rebelling against the Force user, knowing that they misuse the Force and can't maintain balance and healthy relationship. So that begs the questions: are they like aware enough for that thing to happen?